Morning, boys. I hope you're all keeping well. I hope your families are all well and you're all happy. I'm doing loads of exercise here at home with the dogs and getting through a mountain of work on Google Classroom, and I hope you're doing the same. So, today we're going to be looking at odd and even numbers for maths. Okay, and what we are learning to do today, boys, is to identify odd and even numbers. So, on our Word document at the end, I'm going to have different numbers, and you're going to have to say whether they're either odd or they're even. Okay. Second thing we're going to learn to do is we're going to make odd numbers and even numbers from number cards. So in case you were guessing identifying the odd and even numbers, you're going to have to make up your own ones. You're going to have to make odd numbers and even numbers from different digits that I'm going to give you on that Word document. Okay, and the third thing we're going to do is we're going to be able to explain what an odd or an even number is. So that's going to be the last thing on the end of our Word document. You're going to have to explain to me what an odd number is or an even number is to you and give a few examples. Okay, so let's get into it. So, first of all, is this number odd or even? And so I need to explain first what an odd or an even number is. So an even number, boys, is any number that can be equally divided by 2. So any number that can be divided by 2, if we go through the numbers from 0 to 10, so 0, can it be divided by 2? Not really. 1, can you divide 1 by 2? No, you can't divide 1 by 2 evenly. If you had 2 sweets and you divide them by 2, each person will get a sweet. So 2 is divisible by 2, so it's an even number. 3, we can't divide that by 2. 4, we can divide that by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 5 divided by 2, can't really do that. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. 7 divided by 2, can't really do that evenly. 8 divided by 2 is 4. We can do that. So far we've noticed that numbers divisible by 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8. And if we keep going on, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So you can start to see a pattern there, boys. Any number that ends in a 0, a 2, a 4, a 6, an 8 are all even numbers, boys. And any numbers that don't end in those, so that end in a 1, a 3, a 5, a 7, or a 9, we'd all consider them odd numbers, boys. So looking at our first number here, the number 4. So 4 can be divided by 2 evenly to 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, so 4 is an even number. Okay, let's look at the next one. Is this number odd or even? So number 7, as we said there before, 7 divided by 2 would be 3.5. So 7 does not divide by 2 evenly. It doesn't make a single digit. So 7 would be considered an odd number, boys. Okay, next number. 9. Is it odd or even? So 9 divided by 2, boys, would be 4.5. So that doesn't divide evenly. So we would consider 9 an odd number. Next, is 0 an odd or an even number? Now, to be honest, boys, I am not sure with you. And I'm going to do a bit of research. But what I want you to do, boys, is you decide whether it's even or odd and give a reason for your answer. And what I'll do under the comments at the end of your work is I'll explain if 0 is an odd or an even number. My inclination is that it's neither odd or even, but we'll see. Okay, if we had a number like 10, it ends in a 0, but we can divide 10 by 2 evenly. So I would say 0 mightn't be an even number, but 10 would be an even number because 10 divided by 2 would be 5. But we'll see. Okay, next number. 2, is 2 odd or even? So 2 divided by 2 is 1. It can be odd. It can be divided by 2 evenly. So 2 is an even number. Okay, let's look at this set, boys. So we have a set of toys here, and we're asked, is this collection odd or even? So first thing we need to do is we need to count how many are in the set. So let's get going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 in the whole set, boys, okay? Can we divide 12 by 2? Yeah, we can. 12 divided by 2 would be 6. So we could put a line up the middle here, and there'd be 6 in this set and 6 in this set. So therefore, 12 is an even number. So that is an even set. Okay, next one. Is this collection an odd or an even amount? So first thing we need to do again is to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have 15 in this whole set, boys. So 15 divided by 2 doesn't equal it's not divisible by 2. So 15 divided by 2 would be 7.5, which isn't a number that we're interested in to see if it's odd or even. So therefore 15 would be an odd number because it's not equally divisible by 2. Okay. The pattern, boys. So a lot of you can probably guess the pattern is 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And these are all even number, boys, because if we divide 12 by 2, it's 6, 14 by 2 is 7, divide 16 by 2 is 8, divide 18 by 2 is 9, and divide 20 by 2 would be 10. Okay, so all the numbers in this pattern are even. And you can notice, boys, if you add 2 onto an even number, it equals an even number. If you add 2 onto the next even number, it's an even number. Okay, so if you keep adding 2, you'll get even numbers. So even numbers follow a pattern where you skip a number and the next one's even. Okay, and it's funny enough, the pattern for odd numbers, it's the exact same. You just start on an odd number. 17, 19, 21, 23, 25, and 27. So all these numbers are odd, boys, because 2 can't divide into any of these numbers evenly. Okay? So which number is odd? So if the quick way to know, looking at a number, instead of doing a sum, where you divide the number by 2 and see does it go in evenly, is just to look at the last digit. Okay? If we look at the last digit here on 21, it's 1. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. If the number ends in any of those digits, we know that straight away it's an odd number. If the number ends in a 0, a 2, a 4, a 6, or an 8, we know straight away it's an even number. So let's look at the next one. So that rule is really important when you're looking at bigger numbers, boys, because you can see straight away we have 3 digits here. Instead of dividing it by 2, which might take a minute or 2, we can just look at the last digit. Okay, so 104, 4 is the last digit, so we know straight away this is an even number. Whereas if we look at 113, boys, we look at the last digit, it's a 3, so therefore this is an odd number. Okay, if we look at this set, boys, if you place these items into 2 even groups, how many will there be in each group? So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8, can we make it into 2 even groups? We can. 8 divided by 2 would be 4. So therefore, this group is an even group. And let's look at one more, boys, okay? If you place these either into four even groups, how many will be in each group? Okay, so let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So into 4 equal groups. So 8 divided into 4 groups. 8 divided by 4 would be 2. Okay? Right. This is going to be activity on your Word document, boys. So I'm going to write these numbers on your Word document again, and I want you to make as many even numbers as you can. So don't mind those numbers at the bottom, boys, okay? So you're going to make as many 2-digit even numbers as you can. So 2 digits numbers are numbers that have 2 numbers in them, okay, boys? So like 24, 82, 40, 41, okay? That's the end of our recording. I'm going to put together the Word document for you and have a go. I hope you're all keeping safe, boys, and keep up the good work.